G'day, Josh here, playing some Chess Rush today, and I want to jump in and explore my favourite build in the current meta. Now, this is a build that I was running very early off in Season 4, and it's actually a little bit of a throwback build, but one that I'd forgotten about. So, early on, Nasty and Nate actually discovered the strength of running multiple legendaries, and I will drop a link to his YouTube channel in the description down below, as he has actually started dropping some YouTube content. He's in my guild, so we chat a fair bit about the game, and it was kind of a throwback to Season 0 and Season 1 when I used to play a lot of Cyborg, and back then, Cyborg Engineers, you needed at least Joey or War Machine, one of those legendaries, to pull the full combo off, and I would often run as many other legendaries as well with that build. It would be the 6 Cyborg, 4 Engineers, and then like 4 or 5 legendaries along with that, so it was a ton of fun because you had stacks of legendaries. But back then, and this is primarily turbo mode as well, back then you only had a 4% chance at level 10 of finding legendaries. These days you actually have a 6% chance, so it's even easier to get legendaries. And so anyway, I'd forgotten all about running builds with like 5 legendaries in them, but chatting with Nasty Nate, he'd been experimenting because he was getting sick of having to skip past legendaries in the shop, and I sort of took that inspiration from Nate, and it was a little bit of a throwback to those early days of Chess Rush as well, and it definitely brought some of the enjoyment back to the game because it's a non-meta build, and it's a lot of fun because you essentially get to run a lineup with all of the best heroes in the game. It's a little bit harder, and the gameplay is a little bit different to a regular turbo strategy, so I actually want to jump into a game and talk through my thought process, but I've been doing quite well with it. My win rate is right on 50%, and I'm currently, you can see there, Queen, or I think is it Diamond? I'm so useless with the new rankings, the new rank names. I really wish they were still the old ones. I do prefer Queen and King, given that it is a chess game to some extent. But anyway, you can see my current ranking there. So I'm not playing against scrubs by any means, but essentially you absolutely prioritize getting to level 10 because that 6% chance at legendaries is key. Now, like anything, there is RNG involved. Sometimes you just have games where you just don't have the luck. But early on, and this is actually great for me, early on, your strategy is all about finding 2 stars. You do not care what combo you're running in the early or mid game. Your early game is all about 2 stars. Your mid game is using the 2 stars you've got and trying to put together some semi-reasonable combo. And I'm going to obviously grab that Bargy as soon as we wrap up with these boars here. But yeah, just want to focus on 2 stars. So any pairs I see, I'm 100% grabbing. And then, because you're leveling quite aggressively, sometimes you'll have access to the 4-cost heroes before your opponents do. So I will generally always grab the 4 costs that appear in my shop as well. And the only real solid rule with this build is you just grab every legendary you see, and you can start seeing them. You have a very small chance at level 7. It usually doesn't happen that quickly, but oh my goodness, that is fantastic for us. I'm definitely going to grab that Famine because Famine is actually really, really strong. Her rework has done wonders, and I'm just going to grab that there as well. The Wolf Cavalier is interesting, but her nerf a while back sort of ruined her a little bit, so I will go ahead and grab the Nether Prince just because there's a 3 cost is slightly better there, but that 2-star, early 2-star is fantastic news for us. Now the dream, the absolute dream, if everything goes to perfection and you go on a winning streak, you're getting all the extra crystals from winning each round, you can actually be at level 10 by the start of round 11. Now that does not happen very often, but it's definitely possible. I've done it multiple times. And if you can get to that stage without having lost any health, it's going to be very hard for anyone else to beat you as we find ourselves another 2-star. Now, I'm absolutely taking advantage of every opportunity to level here, and I'm going to grab that Siren. So you can see there that we don't really have any combos happening just yet, but we do have... I think I'll do that in terms of the not great items. We do have 2 2-stars on the board, and we have some strong individual heroes, a 2-cost, a 3-cost, and Famine's one of the better 1-costs now in the game. So I'm confident that we can win the first few matchups, and this is unless something goes horribly wrong, this should be a win because it's 2 2-stars versus 1 2-star. We got some pretty strong individual heroes. Famine is very nice early game, especially a 2-star Famine. 2-star Famine, 2-star Nightingale, which I do have, and a 2-star Bionic Ninja, which we were just up against, are probably some of the best early 2-stars in the game, at least the 1 costs, just because of what they offer, especially when matched up against a bunch of 1-star heroes that are still on the board. Do like to grab the Witch Doctor just in case. Now, once again, I'm going to be leveling here, so I'll probably end up going ahead and selling that back off and grabbing the Voodoo Elder now. I actually want to grab that Hog Rider as well. And I'm going to make that swap there because that will increase our attack speed slightly with the 2 goblins on the board. And now I do have 2 warlocks as well because I've got that Nether Prince, of course. So we don't have amazing combos just yet. But once again, we've just got enough 2-stars that we should feel like we should do okay with this one as well. We do have some strong heroes on the other side of the board, but we've got those 2 2-stars again. So I think it will be enough to get us across the line. Unfortunately, we did not deal with that Devourer before he transformed, so that will hurt a little bit. But luckily, we don't have to worry about the Void Destruction there being a 2-star just yet. So we get the win there, and we'll go ahead and grab that Evergreen, I think, just in case we find some Witch Doctors to get that extra currency. Okay, so I'm going to sell it off again, level again. And we're going to go ahead and grab that Lightbringer. And I'll actually reposition this just a little. What else do I want in that shop? I'm going to plan on getting this win here and remaining undefeated because that'll give us the extra 2 crystals. And then I'm going to grab the Horned Menace and the second Frost Lotus just in case we can 2-star that. Generally speaking, my end game with this build looks like 5 or 6 legendaries, Sanzang, Executioner, and 3 Assassins. So I do like to run the 3 Assassins on the way there. So this is going to be perfect for us. We get both of what we wanted, the second Frost Lotus and the Horned Menace. And let's check out our value. We're equal first in terms of value. We're still undefeated. So we are looking very, very solid early, which is great. We just have to hope that that luck sticks around and that we do start to find some legendaries soon. There is that 2-star Frost Lotus. So we will level once again after the bears here. You can see there that at level 7, we of course do have that 0.5% chance of finding legendaries. Doesn't happen very often, but it's pretty good when it does. So anyone else have a legendary yet? No, in fact, oh no, the person second from the bottom has a 4 cost and we have a 4 cost. Oh, and actually there's a few that have 4 cost there if you look closely enough, but it's nice having one of our own, and that is the advantage. We have, 2 other opponents are currently at level 7. Almost certainly we will be the first to level 10, which does mean that we get the first pick at those legendaries, generally speaking, because we'll have the percentage odds in our favor as we get the win against the bears here. And I'm actually not going to buy anything there because I'm not too interested now in any of those. And that gives us that 1 extra crystal from interest. Absolutely want Stinger. She's a big part of this. She ends up being the lowest cost hero that I end up running. But as of right now, that gives us 2 undead, which is fantastic. And I'm actually going to, I think I'll give the Shocking Dagger to Nightingale. And I might re-equip the Resistance Cloak to our Lightbringer there. Do I want anything else? Oh, I could grab that Forest Breath. Because she would give us 3 Hunter, but 3 Hunter's not a massive thing. If maybe at level 9, if that's the best hero, I'll put her out on the board, but otherwise we'll go another route. I'm not too worried about running 3 Hunters. We'll see how we go. So this is going to be close. This might be our first loss, but you don't have to go undefeated to pull this off, and I don't mind. Like, we're still on a decent chunk of health, or we might win this one yet. I think we will, actually. So we pull that one out. But you just want to preserve as much of your health as possible, and we're doing very, very well with that at this stage, as you can still see. So still me and... Oh, okay. Both of those are big, big pieces. We're actually going to trade up. We get rid of that now. We get rid of that now. I think I might actually do that too at this stage. Give them the resistance cloaks. That puts a little bit of our crystals back in the bank. I might end up a little bit too slow there. I don't know that we need those 2 goblins. The Hog Rider isn't really doing a whole lot for us. I was going to sub in the 2-star Frost Lotus we had on the bench there for a little while. Probably actually a slight misplay not doing that earlier, to be totally honest. I had forgotten a little bit about the fact that we had that 2-star Frost Lotus sitting on the bench. Does it cost us the win this round? It shouldn't. I think that War Machine will be enough to get it done, though. That 2-star Famine is nasty. She might take down our War Machine here. It's going to be very, very, very close. Yeah, we do end up losing that one, and we might not have if I had that Frost Lotus on the board, but it's not a massive deal. I will grab that Venom, actually, because that gives us the ability to run. What I'm going to do here is making a sell that Frost Lotus, just so I have exactly 24 crystals. And then I can do this. I can actually run the 3 assassins now. So we've only got the 2 stars still, but we're the only ones on level 9, as you can see there. Our value is still reasonable, and the 3 assassins will help us a little bit in terms of just more damage output now that we've got that combo online. But this is the part of the game where you might lose a few, because I'm just trying to be as efficient as possible with my economy to get to level 10 ASAP. And you can see there that we will end up losing this one. But once again, it's pretty close, and we're still above 50 HP. So we're still doing really, really well. So using that health as a resource, we definitely want that. Now, what I'll do here is I think I'll get rid of the... yeah, we'll get rid of the Voodoo Elder there. So we've got 2 misfortunes on the board, but once again, we're going to get that extra crystal from beating the Harpies. We'll be at 10, we'll get that interest. So we're just really focusing on the economy being super, super efficient. And we're not far away at all from being level 10. It might be like a round 12 level 10 for us this game. And we're looking very, very solid. Anyone else have legendaries yet? No, we're the only ones with a legendary. And we'll, as I touched on earlier, we'll be absolutely the first to level 10. And then it's just going to be about how many legendaries we can find, as we get quite a few items there. So we'll go ahead and equip those shortly. So this next round is going to be an econ round. We will not be refreshing the shop. And you can see that that's been a pattern this entire game. There's absolutely no refreshes of the shop. The only time that I would do that is at this point in time, if I was under 30 health. Then I would start looking for additional 2 stars. But at this stage, I'm not touching any of that. And we're going to begin. I think we'll set up like so. That looks reasonable. And we will be... basically, if I'm correct, especially if we win this round, bang on the crystals required to get to level 10. Sometimes I'll actually get to level 10 and won't have the crystals required to put that 10th hero on the board, which is fine, because the most important thing is that 6% chance of finding legendaries. So I'll do that anyway. I think we're going to lose this one. Once again, it won't be a big loss. Will it cost us the crystals to get to level 10 this round? It might actually. That might. Ooh, especially because we're going to be buying that. So we definitely aren't getting to... level 10 this round. But next round it's going to happen. There's no stopping it next round, that's for sure. Some slight adjustments of our items there. And both Berserker and General of War are fantastic heroes on their own merit, but they will not fit into this build once it's full. I could potentially pick one of them up because we're going to have enough crystals to get to level 10 anyway. So I might actually go ahead and grab General of War. It will, if we win this, it will cost me that 1 crystal interest, but it won't affect me from getting to level 10. And it just gives me... I mean, I've got the Misfortune. I could just run 2 Misfortunes, to be honest, but we'll see how we go. It just gives me a little bit of wiggle room without affecting my economy here. So it's one of those. It's better to be on the safe side in that specific instance. I know I've got enough crystals to... Ooh, hello. All right, we know we want that sword dancer, and we can sell one of our assassins to do it. So we're going to sell the Horned Menace there, grab the sword dancer, and there's our level 10 build. Now I will... that Nether Prince will be our next replacement, I think. I'll just adjust here a smidge. It's not ideal placement for that Nether Prince, but he's a 1-star, so I don't want him frontlined at the moment. He'll probably die before he gets his ability off. I don't have any tomes. Oh no, I do have the 1 tome, but I'd rather that on the General of War, or the Shakaraka, I think it's on at this stage. So we're looking pretty. We've got 2 legendaries, 3 legendaries. There is a couple of other legendaries in play, but we're the only one with multiple, and look at that. We get the win. It is against one of the weaker opponents at this point in time, but a win is a win nonetheless. And we're on top of the leaderboard as well. All of a sudden, we're looking in a very good spot. Hello. So there is the upgrade we wanted the Nether Prince, not the General of War. But I am actually going to swap out that General of War because the Executioner is more of a key piece in this build. I could have kept that General for one of these 2-stars, but because I don't have many 2-stars at this stage, I'm not going to do that just yet. But the Executioner, his silence ability, it is a little bit bugged, so sometimes it doesn't hit the strongest enemy, but it can be very useful against things like, like that 2-star. You can see that 2-star Lotus Prince there, or Sword Dancer is another key one. So that's going to be a problem for us, that 2-star. 2-star. I totally blanked on. Why am I blanking on what he's called? Lotus Prince. What's his actual name? Neja, right? Totally blanked on that for a second. Do we win this one? I don't think so. This is, I can see there, the silence actually hit that. Okay, so we do win this because of the Executioner. So that is a perfect example of why the Executioner is so key. The other piece we're looking for, oh, that's a beautiful upgrade for us. The other piece we are looking for in this build is Sanzang, sorry. Sanzang, very, very important to... Even though he's been slightly nerfed in the latest balance patch, he does have a very good chance of resetting enemies' abilities, which is really, really useful. So let's see what we get in terms of items here. We're going to get that extra interest here as well as we get to 20 crystals, and then we're going to go all the way down to 0 every round looking for legendaries. Because of how quick the turbo economy is, you're not worried about getting any sort of a crystal bank happening. You don't want to get to 50 or anything like that. You just want to spend every round looking for those legendaries. 2-star as many legendaries as possible, as quickly as you can. So we get ourselves a nice dominating victory there. And now we're going to go all the way down and spin. Now, I have, of course, put together what my ideal lineup looks like in the prep phase or the prep part of the app. So I get little prompts like that. I know that Sanzang is something that I'm looking for. I'm not looking to 3-star things at this stage. That's worth noting. So right now, we're going to sell off our Baji so we can grab that second Joey without having to lock that shop. Now, I did miss items there. That's fine. Go ahead and do that. They won't take effect this game, but we don't have to worry about this round. We don't have to worry about the next round now. So I'm only a Joey or a Guru away from having my first 2-star legendary. And this should be another win for us. That 3-star Miss Supersonic should go down shortly. Multiple Joeys on the board. And we're looking pretty still on top. Down to the final 6. And there is our 2-star Sanzang. So, absolutely replacing now the Nightingale. Sanzang, this is where things get super fun. Sanzang gets frontline. I don't have, unfortunately, I do not have a Spellbane Staff, which would be great right now. So I might actually give Sanzang that dagger as well. We really want that Sanzang ability to go off as quickly as possible. Oh my goodness. Well, that was a nice refresh for us. Go ahead and do that. And we are looking very, very solid all of a sudden. The 2-star Sanzang, there's our first 2-star legendary in the Sword Dancer. Yeah, there we go. You saw how quickly Sanzang's ability triggered there. This is going to be another comfortable win for us. We might actually eliminate the player with the 2-star Lotus Prince. We do. So we don't have to worry about that legendary anymore. Everyone else, apart from one now, actually has a legendary, at least one. We're ideally looking for, it's another, I'm blanking again, Head Reaper, the Goblin Assassin to replace, I definitely want that, to replace our Venom there. Sometimes though, if I end up finding all 6 legendaries, I might not actually run 3 assassins, but I usually keep Stinger just because it's nice having the armor reduction. We've obviously got Warlock as well with Misfortune and Void Doom, and yeah, it's a really interesting build because you don't have a lot of strong combos. You've just got some utility combos and you're just running all of the best heroes in the game. So it's essentially, it's a good stuff build. You're just running as much good stuff as you can. And it looks like we have another elimination. So we've actually, look at that. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe that we're actually getting this happening for the video. I've played this a lot and it normally doesn't run this well. It's very, very strong, don't get me wrong, but this is basically perfect at this stage. Other than a couple of round losses, I couldn't ask for a better video. So there is our Head Reaper, so I will go ahead and upgrade that. And I will grab that Sword Dancer. As I said, you just want to grab every legendary you find. The reason I'm doing that is it takes those legendaries out of the pool, so I'm more likely to find the other legendaries that I'm still looking to 2-star. How am I going with my item equipment? It's probably could be tweaked a little bit, but I'm not too hassled about it. And let's see, what are we actually up against in terms of builds? We are up against a Punisher Void build. That is an interesting one. This is a bit of an interesting one. We are playing against, there is at least one queen. I think there was another queen in the lobby when we started. They've obviously been eliminated already, but not the strongest meta builds. Some interesting stuff nonetheless, but it's working very, very well for us at this stage. A little bit of a breather here. I won't spin the shot because there's no real reason to. It'll cost me an interest. So it'd be nice to get a Spellbane Staff from one of these creeps and I can chuck that on Sanzang. But his ability is pretty much firing ASAP anyway. Is anyone else running a 2-star Sanzang at this stage? No. So we don't actually have to worry about beating another Sanzang from firing, but you still want to have it firing as quickly as possible. If you can stop most of your enemy's heroes from firing off their ability the first time round, that's pretty strong. And it definitely helps sway the tide of battle in your favor. You see there once again just how quickly that Sanzang is triggering. We get a great sword and we get something else as well, or just the one item. Just the great sword. I'll go ahead and pick that up. I think that'll end up going on my Sword Dancer there. It will. Ooh, we get ourselves another legendary. Fantastic. And now we just keep spinning that shop, grabbing all those legendaries we find. There's another one. We want that Executioner too, of course. Ooh, what do I do here? Well, this might be one of those games where I do actually give up on the 3 assassins. A little bit too late to sort out the repositioning there. That'll set back. But now we've got multiple 2-star legendaries, and the app crashes at it. Have not had that happen in a long time. I really hope I can get back into this game. That would be very, very annoying if all of a sudden we get kicked out. But to be totally honest, I think you could see that we were going to win that nonetheless. Everything had gone very, very well, and okay, it looks like we're getting back in, which is great. It wasn't that hard to do, right? It's a slightly different tempo that you play with. I mean, Turbo is a fast-paced game anyway, but you are really, really focused and racing for that level 10. But yeah, oh, there we go. So we're back into the game. That was super weird. I will slightly reposition there against those assassins. Get our War Machine happening as quickly as possible. And then we'll worry about the shop next round. Oh, this is the final 1v1 actually. I think the game's about to end, so we could have actually used that Guru. Unless things go horribly wrong here, which they have. Okay, so that's good. Why has that happened? Just a lot of strong things. Okay, that's all right. We've still got a reasonable amount of health. And it's going to be another 2-star upgrade for us. Oh, there's another 2-star too. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I fear nothing.
I'm actually going to take out Joey here. Just because I've got 2 of those 2-star sword dancers. That is crazy. We do have a 2-star sword dancer on the other side of the battlefield as well. But I think that those upgrades should definitely help us. With a bit of luck, our Executioner actually silences his sword dancer, which hasn't happened yet. There it is. It has happened now, and that should be the game. And that gives you a little taste of just how strong this good stuff build is. So there it is. 23 minutes. Let's look at this end lineup. It is glorious to look at. We had 4 2-star legendaries, 6 legendaries in total, and every single hero apart from our Stinger was a 4 cost or greater. So it's just a super, super fun build to run. Let me know if you've tried this build or if you're going to in the comments down below. And also, what is your favorite legendary? I think my favorite legendary is actually Shakaraka. He might not be the most powerful, but he's super fun. His animations are great. His character looks, the hero itself, the hero model looks fantastic. And yeah, I really, really enjoy using him. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite is. Thank you so much for checking out this video. And until next time, I'll see you later.